Okay. Chief guest, Dr. Ashatu Kijaji, Deputy Minister for Finance and Planning, as represented by Mr. Agustin Colal, Acting Commissioner for Policy Analysis from Ministry of Finance and Planning. Honorable James Dotto, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Finance and Planning. Honorable Professor Adolf Kenda, Permanent Secretary, Trade, Investment, Ministry of Finance and Planning. Dr. Florence Turuka, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries. Mrs. Teresia Mbando, Regional Administrative Secretary, Dar es Salaam. Mr. Aaron Kagurunjuli, Director, Kinondoni Municipal Council. Mr. Msongela Nitu Palela, Director, Ilala Municipal Council. Mr. Nasib Mbaga, Director, Temeke Municipal Council. The CEO of TAMFI, Tanzania Association of Microfinance Institutions, Ms. Winnie Terry. And the Chair, Honorable Chair, Mr. James Washima. Members of TAMFI, the Citi Micro-entrepreneurship Awards Advisory Council, distinguished guests, all protocols observed, I hope. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Very good morning to you. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the inaugural Citi Micro-entrepreneurship Awards in Tanzania. We are honored by your presence at this event. Also, it gives us at Citibank great pride to be associated with the Tanzania Association of Microfinance Institutions as our partner for this program. On the 16th of June, this last June, Citibank completed 205 years of existence. Yes, we've joined a small group of companies that are more than 100, 150 years old, right? And that made it through all this time. Companies like Ford, the car manufacturer, Procter & Gamble, General Electric, and many others. Not many others, a few others. And over these 205 years, ladies and gentlemen, we've seen a lot, right? We've seen two great wars. We've seen walls being built and demolished in Europe. We've supported very important projects like the Panama Canal, connecting the two oceans. We supported the cable between two continents that allowed for foreign exchange transactions to be done in real time. We've pioneered a number of technologically driven initiatives, like for example the ATM machines. Now today all of us go to the ATMs and withdraw cash. Citi was a pioneer many years ago. We've pioneered the credit cards, right? And we've changed a lot, right? Because I think if there is one very important thing for companies to withstand the test of time, companies or anything, is the need to adapt, right? So right now I'm happy to say that we are stronger, leaner, better shape than we were 200 years ago, for sure. But two things have not changed in these 200 years of Citibank's existence. And these two things were, one, our commitment to promoting financial prosperity, financial development to our clients, to the communities, to the countries that we operate. By the way, we operate these days in more than 100 countries. Right? We've grown together with our clients, following the flows. In Africa, we have more than 15 countries. Right? So to promote financial prosperity in these places, and also to give back to the communities that we operate, like here. And within the last bit, right, I'm not sure if you know, but I'm telling you that once a year, in one day, our 200,000 staff, 200,000 plus staff all over the world get together and work for one day in community projects, which is what we call the Citi Global Community Day. And I can imagine the impact, the transformational impact that 200,000 people have all over the world. Tanzania, we've done many, and every year we do the same thing. And also under giving back to communities, we've got our Citi Foundation that in 2015 alone gave or donated or invested, depending on how you see it, more than $78 million supporting projects under urban development, under youth economic opportunities, and financial inclusion in more than 86 countries. More than 380 NGOs benefited from these programs. More than 1 million people benefited from these programs. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to say that this year we are inaugurating our first Citi Micro-entrepreneurship Awards in Tanzania with this event, with this ceremony, and as part of the programs that we have supported by Citi Foundation in Tanzania. We also run another program called Junior Achievers. And this year, Tanzania joins 28 other countries in 2016, where a ceremony like this will be held. Right? And one may ask, why MFIs, right? Or why micro-entrepreneurs, right, together in terms of recognition? And I'll tell you why. And as I was chatting with the chief guest just now, in 1976, just to tell you a small story, two young guys by the name of Steve got together in one of their backyards, I'm not sure which one's backyard, and put a few parts, electronic parts together, and created a small company and started making personal computers. Right? Those small machines, not even screen they had. They were a little bit more than typing machines these days. And guess what? Today, that same company makes the telephone, the mobile phones, and the iPads and the iPods that we all use. Apple, right? In 1998, Larry Page and Sergey Brin created Google. Now, I'm not sure if you are a Google, Android, or iOS Apple person, but I can guarantee you that between these two, right, our lives were definitely affected and changed and improved for the better. In 2004, a student out of his room from the university created what we now call Facebook, Zuckerberg. Right? So these companies are now these days huge, right? And they actually transformed the way that we all live. But they all started as small companies through micro-entrepreneurship and an idea and an action. And who knows, maybe the next Zuckerberg, the next Jobs could be sitting here in this room. So the first reason why we believe that micro-entrepreneurship is absolutely critical is because the small companies of today will be the big companies of tomorrow. Right? The second reason, and that's perhaps the most relevant reason in terms of our reality in our emerging markets, countries, is poverty alleviation. Right? Through payment of salaries, taxes, and creation of an income flow to our families or to the families of the entrepreneurs, poverty alleviation takes place, and it's absolutely critical. So the event today, which is now being inaugurated in Tanzania, and hopefully we will try and make it every year, aims at putting a spotlight into the importance of micro-entrepreneurship as I said, these reasons that I said and many others, and also to try and contribute to the formation of a new generation of entrepreneurs, now and tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, chief guest, let's also not forget the challenges that the micro-entrepreneurs face on a day-to-day basis, right? Be it management systems, information, the operating environment, right? And really, the objective of this event is to recognize the achievements of all these entrepreneurs in going through and sailing through these challenges, right? So in this regard, I would like to congratulate all the finalists and the winners, obviously, of the 2016 Entrepreneurship Awards run by Citi, which is a program, by the way, that started in 2005 in partnership with the UN, and then was taken over by Citi Foundation and is now run in 28 countries, including Tanzania. So through you, we are reassured that micro-entrepreneurship is a viable option for every entrepreneurial Tanzanian, and who knows, maybe for every one of the almost 50 million Tanzanians in this country. So with that, I would like to thank you once again for your presence. I shouldn't speak too much, because if I understood a little bit of the Kiswahili, lunch will be a little bit later, so we still have a long event to go. And of course, the important thing is to hear a few words from our chief guest and the other members, and then go through the awards. So with that, thank you very much for making time to be part of this award ceremony, and tunaendelea. Asante sana.